Forget $10 mil being $500,000 annually at 5. That's a bit extreme. Considering how many go paycheck to paycheck and have no savings. Even if someone has $400,000 and it went up 10 for the year, that's still a whopping $40,000. Or $20,000 at only 5. For not even having to work. I make $20 hour in SoCal. But that's before deductions. After all deductions, I take home about $30,000 per year. For working every week of the year. I just thought the $10 mil example was a bit extreme when much less is still life-changing. I'm not well versed in any of this. But I've been trying to tell my wife we need to find a better bank for our savings. The one we have is literally a podunk small bank that has maybe 6 of them total. We have enough money in savings that if we got a high-yield account we'd at least get a okay amount back. Nothing to really change anything in our lives, but we would 100 get enough back to reinvest it to make more off the interest. It's useless right now other than being a safety blanket. Lol. Did you forget to put the first half of this post somewhere? Who is upvoting this fever dream of a post? You can use this to your advantage. Saving and investing money in total market equity index funds is the way to use capitalism to buy your freedom from capitalism. Doesn't fix the system, but at least you can try to save yourself from it. Check out our financial independence. This goes to show that even a modest retirement account can produce reasonable passive income. Save what you can, folks. If you do CDs or HYSA, you'd have to calculate compounding interest, not that it yields that much more. But a little extra doesn't hurt. Yup. I'd be happy to get 1 million. Drop it all in a 5 account and get $50K a year? I'd be all over that. Yes, working is for suckers. All the money you should be getting paid is going to shareholders. My school teacher friend bought 20,000 shares of Microsoft in 1987. He's getting $500,000 in interest a year and more. Lucky guy. There are accounts offering 7.5, much higher rates than that can be gained by locking the money in for a set or minimum period of time. Why else would they hoard all the money? Now to $10 billion and tell me it's not cake-eating time. The sad part about this is the investor class actually can afford to do what they love and love what they do because they aren't bound to a job. I have $100,000 in a money market account, making about $350 a month from that. It's as if I worked a part-time job, but didn't. My credit union pays 5.25% on their 12-month COD. No fees. With treasuries where they are, $500,000 rolling through 90-day notes would provide life-changing stability to anyone currently making between $80,000 and $200,000 a year. Anybody who can consistently get 10 year after year would be considered a financial wizard. That's not realistic. Even Bernie Madoff wasn't offering 10 a year on his giant Ponzi scheme. Because that was too unbelievable. So yes, I guess as a frame of reference, 10 is easy to conceptualize. But it's still not something that is going to be a solid percentage when doing financial planning. Well, I'm not sure if USA can continue to exist if Fed keeps the current interest rate. My wife and I are older and have hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement accounts. Any given day it swings thousands of dollars in either direction. Definitely puts everyday purchases in perspective. I think the 10M is illustrative. If you got $10 million year, it would take you more than 10,000 years to receive as much money as Jeff Bezos. Net worth. There are over 3,000 billionaires in the world. Yes. It's not just another game, it's another stratosphere. Okay, now assume the market went down 20 due to a recession and they lost $80,000 without having spent anything. Congrats. You guys have figured out how equity and debt investments work. You get an expected return for taking on the risk that your investments don't work out, and also an expected return for delayed consumption. Nothing wrong with saving money, investing it instead of spending it, and getting a return on my investments. Did you just learn how to do math? Will you be posting any more of your wisdom to tell us how much 5 of various numbers is? Also making $20 an hour in SoCal. Are you living with parents? I would like to double or triple my salary so I can move on a bit. It is life-changing. And it is possible. When I was 20, my job started with what was a 401k. I lives with my parents, so saving with a match was easy. I continued this throughout my career, and almost 40 years later, have a bit over 500k. And because of the matching and reinvestment, what it cost me was a lot less. Haven't looked at the breakdown in a while, but the nest egg likely cost me just a bit over 100k over those 40 years. I was saying that before, but where I live the amount you can earn interest on is capped for normal people. You make these assumptions, but it's not possible. The problem is you have to consider both inflation and volatility. So you're not getting 10 or even 5. Most people use 4 as the amount you can safely withdraw every year from a stock portfolio and have it maintain its purchasing power. So you're getting $16,000 a year. That's not even enough to pay the rent, and you're sitting on more than double the median household wealth. Anyway, I'm not sure what the point of these posts are. Are people upset that investors are getting a return on invested capital? Wait until you learn about dividend stocks. It's exactly that, money for not working. I loved the months before the Ukraine war where I made whole monthly salaries every other day. Are they actually breaking even on real terms given inflation? The thing is, if you have high enough income to save 400k, 2040k isn't that much money, though definitely compound interest over the long term is your friend. Not for nothing, but when people tell you not to buy that coffee or avocado toast, this is kind of what they're talking about. You make your money work for you. The faster you gather this kind of savings, the better. 400k in investment money is achievable by your 30s even if you come from nothing. Keeping my eye on QQQY. These new dividend ETFs are our only possible salvation that is realistic. This one is due to pay 60 to 120% APY. If it can do this and maintain share price 50k in a couple years, and most folks could retire. Where can I get a small gift of $10 million from? I'm 27. Hubs is in his 30s. And we can't afford to put away €100 a month. Retirement plans are discussed and they include dying LMAO. Finally, some normal people numbers. Good post. That's the plan then. Batista retire. Just remember, the kiss of death is to take money out of your 401k for emergencies. Or at any time before retirement. I understand you might have no choice. But it's a very bad idea. On the other hand, if you have $10,000 on a credit card and make minimum payments until paid off, you will pay about $20,000 and it will take 20 years. When they squeeze you down even more, $10 will be a big deal, something to like okay forward to. Even though I stick 16 of pay in my 401k with a small company match, the balance is back to where it was mid-2021. Unless you invest in something with a fixed rate, which is not an option in my 401k. Returns aren't guaranteed.